participate on the last class. I was wondering, I didn't receive the recording. Remember that I sent you an email saying that I couldn't be in class, so then I wasn't going to watch the recording later.
There was no class.
Okay.
You get the recording, so it's fine. So I couldn't log into the textbook. Something happened with Pearson company, but looks like now they fixed it. So last class, there was no class. So that's why there was no recording. But that's okay. We covered plenty of material for this class already, so we're good. So no worries. So anyways, exercise 17. So we actually did have a last class meeting on Monday last week because Wednesday there was no class. I couldn't run it because of technical issues. And Friday was a spring break, right? So we didn't have the class again. So now we have a class and we will have a class throughout this entire week. I hope everything works perfectly. So let's take a look at exercise 17 that says below 142. What does that mean, below? Well, we can see that the question here is actually find the percentage or probability, P, percent, probability, same thing, that X is below, means less than 142. So that's the way to put the question down. I say, do I have to do that? Well, you don't have to, but at least this way we can see what they're asking. And that's what I usually do here. Just put down the question and then make a picture of normal distribution that they gave me. That normal distribution was so-called mean or the average. Average is always in the center. And they say mean is 121 here. So average is 121. Also, they gave us a standard deviation that we call as a sigma, which is equal to 15. And now I need to answer their question. What's the probability or area that X is less than 142? Less than 142 means we start at 142 and go to the smaller to less side, which is on the left. So pictorially, I made a picture of that question. So to be able to answer this question, I need to find corresponding z-score. To be able to get probabilities, I need to use my tables, and z that will correspond to the number 142 is going to be found by using a special z-score formula. If you remember, we used that already. It was X minus population mean divided by standard deviation. So once you find this z-score, then the area on a standard normal distribution will be exactly the same with the area that you're looking for here. And we'll use tables to get that answer. So I remember how we found z-scores. We just plugged numbers in the formula. So we have sigma, we have mean, we have value of X. So I just put them here. 142 minus 121 divided by 15. And I will use a calculator so I can also make sure I do it right. Put parentheses around my numerator. So let's do it. Get this numerator in the parentheses, 142 minus 121 parentheses, and then divide this by number 15. So once it's done, you got 1.4. And this is your so-called z-score, 1.4. This is a very special number because what you do is look at the tables and get the answer. So I'm looking at these tables and need to find 1.4 in it. So how can I find? Well, we're looking at the first column. That's where location of Z is. And looks like 1.4 is right there. Also notice there is an entire row of data that appears to be next to it. So the question is, what column should I select? And the answer is you need to select very first column, because if your value of Z is exactly 1.4, it means there is a 0 hundredths, 0 of those hundredths associated to it. So you just use first column. Looks like so far we only used first column in here, and that tells me the number 0.9192 in a row next to 1.4, and in a column that corresponds to 0.00 underneath. So let me write this down. So it'll be 0.9192. And this is exactly the area from that value of Z to the left. And that's exactly what tables tell me. To get the area from the left, all you do is just see what's on the intersection of the row and the column. So we did this last time in class. I know it's been a while ago, but the good thing about these exercises is they're pretty much all the same. So you just get a Z-score and then from tables, pull out number you need. Let's see, well, how about exercise number 19? Let us do one more here, which is a little bit different because it wants you not to find the area below, but area above. So what difference would this make? Well, if I write down the question that says find probability that X is above, then I have to put greater. You see the difference? It's more than 130 if it's above. It's 150, 100, 1,000, so any bigger number than 130. So it looks like I can produce corresponding picture to it once again. And my mean is still here, 121. But number 130 is greater, so it is on the right side from this 121. And the area percentage or probability they want me to find will be to the right from that particular value of Z that I have to find corresponding to my number 130. So it turns out, just like in the previous example, I'm going to have to use that Z-score formula. So for that value of X, calculate value of Z that will correspond to it. Why does it correspond? Well, because it gives exactly the same area to the right side. And that's what statistical science is talking about. So we use that same formula again for the Z-scores, X minus mean over standard deviation, and put the numbers in. So it looks like numbers are pretty much the same, right? 130, that's my value of X, and I still have exactly same pair of standard deviation and mean. So I subtract 121, divide this by number 15, and I should not forget about this little parentheses around my numerator, right? So make sure I do this right when I put in the calculator. So let us do this. where's my calculator? It's right here. So I got to put, again, fraction with nice little numerator, 130 minus 121 in parentheses, divided by number 15. So there you go, another little decimal. Z is 0.6. How would you like that? Another positive value. Well, so I'll go to the tables, just like I did already today, get 0.6. When I say it's a 0.6, okay, 0.6, it's still 0.66 tenths. And in the very first little column, looks like in this section, we only use first column. I get some number, 7257.7257. Please notice this is not the answer as of yet, because tables give me only areas from the left. I need to find the area on the other side. So the question is, how can I find the complement, right? Remember, the opposite side is always going to be a complement, 1 minus. Well, for probability of a complement, I will just subtract from 1 this area on the left and get the remaining area on the right side. So when I subtract this, this is going to look like 2743, something like that. So this is the answer that we produced. And I guess that's what we did already last week. And I hope by putting this together, I finish all that with chapter 12 that we need. So looks like we done with 12.5, and just the first page of it will be good enough for homework. I know the time is coming to an end, so I'm not gonna make you look at more of this. If you just do a couple of problems in this section like I did, it'd be plenty. So let me tell you what be for the homework that you can turn in anytime from now on, because you already know what to do for the homework. Sections up to 12.5. So let me go to the contents of textbook and see what sections we actually need for homework, which is going to be due again next Monday, right? So let me clean this a little bit. So next Monday, we're going to have our last exam called final exam. And of course, prior to the final or the same day, would be good to have homework turned in, right? Because that's still a part of your course grade. And it looks like we did chapter 11. We didn't do odds, right? So in chapter 11, you don't have to do anything related to odds. We actually looked at 11.6. It's a favorite probability of a complement, one I just used right now. Not that means 1 minus. But the second portion of 11.6 with odds, I told you to skip. So I think that we did pretty much entire chapter 11, right? And then we moved to chapter 12, and we did not do the entire chapter 12. We stopped at 12.5, right? So we looked at 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we stopped at 12.5. So 12.1 through 12.5. So those are the sections. Ideal homework, the person who wants to get an A in class is listed in syllabus, every other odd exercise. But rather than turn in nothing, just send me something. So if someone says, Alex, I haven't sent you midterm homework because I don't have that many problems done yet. Well, email me whatever you have done. Don't be shy. I will look at it. I will accept it. In the case, if I don't like it, I will ask you to do a little more. So just check your email. So once you send me something, especially around the final exam day, make sure that you check your email. Maybe I didn't receive it. Sometimes I get emails that I cannot open. And most of the time it's because someone who sends this email did not make sure that this file got attached. Sometimes people say, okay, I click this, and then send. But if you select some file, it takes some time for it to be attached. And you just want to wait maybe like 10 or 15 seconds before you click send. Sometimes you need to wait a couple of minutes if you send it a picture from your cell phone, right? So you want to make sure that the attachment actually does go through. And if it doesn't go through, I will reply back to you. I will ask you to resend me your work. So make sure that you check your emails. It's not a big deal. I will remind you to resend it to me if I cannot open it. So don't panic and don't get frustrated. Just spend extra minute or two and resend it to me again. Just make sure that I receive your work. This is your work. So I want to make sure that I get it, right? So chapters 11 and 12. So whatever you've done, it's due a week from today. So I hope you will have plenty of time to take care of homework if you start doing it now, right? I'm sure.
Professor, and just to make sure, we have to do it every other number, right? Like last time.
Mhm.
Right. So so was it even or odd?
Every other odd.
All right, thank you.
The syllabus says every other odd. So just every other odd numbers. If you do a little less, that'd be also fine. I already told that, right? So, but do some work for some problems from every section. So just try every section, at least a few exercises. So that's for homework. We'll be having more classes this week on Wednesday, on Friday. So I will be looking forward to your questions. If you want my help with any of these exercises, just let me know which section, what problems, and I will work them out for you, of course. So please be aware of it also. But yes, one needs to start. I'm sure you already have chapter 11 finished pretty much somewhere. So just dig it out, right? And start emailing me those problems. What else? So I'm going to send you final exam practice, just like I did with a midterm exam, a little later today. So tomorrow morning, you will get it for sure. So you can check your emails tomorrow and try to do that exercise before Wednesday class, because I plan to do it for you on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we're gonna do the review for the final, and I'll work out that practice final for you on Wednesday. So you will be prepared for the final exam. And again, on Monday, I will email you, just like I did with a midterm, next Monday, a week from today. I will email you that midterm, or that final exam. And I will expect you to email me all of your work on that final the same Monday next week, sometime around lunchtime. I'm not going to be picky on how much time you spend doing it. You may take more time if you want to, but I expect to get it sometime during the day on Monday, so I can grade it, calculate your grades, and by Wednesday next week, post your class grade on the Blackboard. So this way you will know what you're going to get by next Wednesday for the entire class. So I will get rid of all the other grades there so you don't get confused. Lots of time people see some other grades and get confused. So I will take all those grades away and I will just say course grade and this is it. And of course, we're going to meet on that next week, Wednesday, to discuss if something is missing or something is I didn't receive. Sometimes I just don't receive your exam. And that's the reason why I give you the final a little earlier, because this is online process to make sure that I receive your work. So that's why it's good to realize that it's not over after the final. That's why I put this grade for you to observe on the blackboard as soon as I grade it. So probably the following day on Tuesday, it should be already on the blackboard. So that's the plan for this and for the next week. And what else? I wanna tell you one thing that I totally forgot. There is a class that, does anybody need to take MGF 1107? I believe that I'm scheduled to teach. I just noticed, I didn't even tell you that. Let me see, where's the, we can go MDC class schedule, right? If you go to this schedule of classes for the summer semester, I will be teaching class that meets online only once a week on Saturdays. And of course, I will record it in the case if someone cannot show up for whatever reason. That's fine. I know it's Saturday, so it's not going to be a big deal because I will teach it same way as I do this 1106 right now. So the next class, I believe, is 1107. Yeah, 1107. So you can see this is the class that meets on Saturdays. I think it should be ending not at 11:50 because I see the class, it goes 2.5 hours. So we actually should be ending it by the 10:50. I think they messed up as usual on the schedule, so that's okay. But the thing is, it be on Saturdays, and I have not many, only 6 people in this class up to now, and that's why I'm advertising it, because if we don't get enough people, the class probably be canceled, and these 6 students will lose their class, and I guess that's disappointing. So if you need next class 1107, which is going to be taught in the same format with exact same textbook and pretty much same everything, well, sign up for it. Try to do it today because they might cancel it at any moment because 6 people is no good. I have no idea why they opened 3 classes on Saturday. I think there was some kind of mistake, and I can see the other one also has 6 people. And then the third one, so they all could be canceled. That's the, they should have just had 1 class, but I don't know why they, and the other has 4. Well, that one is probably going to be canceled for sure, but it's still disappointing. So I highly recommend that you add, if you need 1107, then, well, think about it. But again, if you wait till Wednesday, it's probably no longer going to be available. And it is running only once a week on Saturdays. It starts on the 9th of May, so it's still plenty of time. And it's a 12-week, it's a summer, so we have 12-week semester. So it runs till the end of July, end of July. So that's how it runs. And again, I will teach it in the same exact online format. So anyways, going back to our story, today I'm not planning to give you any quizzes. We're done with the course material, so I can let you go and just start gathering your homework and check my emails. I will send it to you, the practice exam, sometime later today.